Board is short. Let's do a long. So I did try to shoot this outside, but it's very noisy. There's a lot of birds around this time of year. But this is my Big Al, Ragley Big Al 2022 build. So we'll go through it. We'll see what's different to the 2021 build, and maybe the reasons behind some of the parts. So let's start with the colour. It's this nice fetching, very dark grey, with this mango lettering on the stickers. The grey is very much the same as the Bigwig, the 2021 Bigwig, in the same colour, but the stickers really do stick out. It's actually quite nice. It's more mature as a colour scheme than the Big Al's in 2021, with the very fetching purple and the very fetching red. Just another thing as well, as I mentioned in a previous video, at least the packaging's better now, so the quality that the frame comes to you is better. I've not seen any paint marks on this, or any paint weirdness or anything else. I've not seen any faults on this frame at all, and the frame comes to you in a much better box. So yeah, Ragley have done something with the QA, which is good to see. So start with the front. This is a Hope Fortus 26 wheel with a Pro4 hub, and Maxxis Minion DHRII tyre with a tan wall. Oh yeah, it's more style over function, trust me. And we've got the Marzocchi Bomber Z1s back. So these were on my Bigwig, the initial Bigwig build. I've upgraded the Bigwig to a Fox 36 factory fork. These are still good forks, so this is a good fit for this bike. The rotor is an Uberbike Components. It's a 180mm radiator style, and we're using the Shimano SLX M7000 brakes. Currently with the non-vented organic pads in, though I have got a metallic vented for the front and a vented or finned even organic for the back in package. I just haven't fitted them yet. On this particular type of fork, it's a 180mm mount, so there's no need for any extra mounting brackets or anything. I've gone for the Hope headset in orange. So the Big Al I did last year had the Brand X headset. Was it? Yeah, it was a Brand X headset. Nothing wrong with that headset at all, by the way. Just wanted a nice coloured one, and I've had really good results with this Hope. The bearings last quite a while, and I've had no servicing or maintenance problems. They're a good headset. Now the bars, these are a Nukeproof carbon bar now, and they're 800mm wide. Last year I was running the Big Al with aluminium bars, and as I noted on the video, I didn't really like it. They made a lot of noise when the cables banged up against them to start with, but that could be probably been easily remediated. But it's the feel. I really do feel I get a nicer feeling from a carbon bar. I prefer the feeling. These bars are just ones I had lying around, so it just made sense to put them on. And they're connected to a Ragley stem, the stubby stem, which is a 50mm stem. It's a nice stem, to be fair. Not had any problems with it. The grips are ODI, so the IDO Pro grips. I do like these grips. I run them on all my other bikes, and last year's Big Al I built with Pro grips just because I had them around. They're an okay grip. I just prefer these. They're my go-to grip these days. I've got a Shimano XT M8000 shifter. I've actually got an M5100 drivetrain, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I prefer the XT shifter over the normal Deore shifter. That was one of the changes over last year. I found the Deore M5100 shifter was quite spongy, didn't feel as nice. So put an XT on this particular build. And the dropper lever is the one that just comes with a brand XSN dropper post. It's much easier to set up, but it's a better lever than the Fun dropper post. Though same in operation, the Fun dropper post was really good last year, and actually the Ascend ones work quite well as well. And the top cap is a Nukeproof top cap, which allows me to mount my Wahoo. So I used my Wahoo computer on this, or will be when I actually start riding it. And obviously, as I say, the brake set is all Shimano SLX M7000. It's a good brake set, to be fair. I ran these, if anybody remembers, on my, not these particular brakes, but this type of brake, on my common cell, Meta AMHT. It was a good brake then. I then run them on the Big L last year. So that build had SLX brakes on. And the steel bike I built, same model of brakes. So these are, yeah, brand new actually. They've actually been used. A few storage marks, but these ones actually haven't been used. So yeah, good brake, good solid brake. And coming back a bit, so we've got the WTB Volt saddle. This is the same saddle I now run on my big wig as well. I like this saddle. It's WTB Volt saddle. Last year, the last year's Big Al was running the Madison, what do they call it? The Madison saddle. I'll try and remember. I'll put a link to that video anyway. I really didn't get on with that saddle. This is a much nicer saddle. I do like these ones. As I said, brand XSN dropper post. For a cheap dropper post, these are remarkably reliable and quite easy to service. On my other bikes, or quite a few of my other bikes, I tend to run Fox transfer posts, which work lovely but more difficult to service, and they end up normally going out. And on this bike, currently I've kept the Ragley standard seat post collar. It's doing the job. They might swap that out for an orange item, who knows. I've got the Design bottle cage. I've got this same bottle cage on the Big Wig as well. I do like it. It's quite a solid cage. It's quite easy to guide the bottle in. Last year's Big Al build, I forgot to put a bottle cage on. Yeah. But yeah, put a bottle cage on this one. Pedals. So this is the first set of Uberbike component pedals I've bought. And from what I can tell, it's like a harder feeling, or maybe more substantial feeling DMR Volt pedal almost. So if you like the DMR Volt, you'll probably like these, to be honest. I haven't actually tried them in anger yet, but from this shape, it is actually concaved in the middle. It's very difficult to see on the video, but it is concaved in the middle. The coating is more of a textured anodized coating, rather than compared to the smooth coating you get on the DMR Volts. Yeah, it's quite a nice looking pedal. It's got the same movement and everything. You know what? I pretty much think it's the same DU and bearings, to be honest. But you know what? And actually these pedals came perfect. So what I normally find on Volts sometimes is this seal isn't sat properly, or the DU bush isn't sat properly when they come. But on these, yeah, they came perfect. The bottom bracket is also Uberbike Components, same colour as the pedals. But this isn't the ceramic one like I run on other bikes of mine. This is the ball bearing, the steel ball bearing version. So yeah, it still feels quite nice, to be fair, but it is half the cost. The cranks, the cassette and the rear mech are all Shimano Deore M5100 11-speed system. So the crank, it's 170mm, I think, in length, with the 32 tooth chainring. Was it 175? I can't remember. It's 175. So 175mm. The rear mech, it's the 11-speed rear mech, 1x11. And this big cassette, it's 11-speed, and it's the 11 to 51 tooth. So plenty of range there. Ran this setup on the Big Al last year, and I remember commenting that I didn't feel like I was missing a gear over the 12 speed, substantially cheaper as well. So yeah, the 11 speed's back. Also on the back, we're running the same Hope Fortus 26 rim, 26mm internal width, 29er wheel. Really good wheel. Yeah, I had no problems with them apart from a broke spoke. That was after several thousand miles. And also the same type of tyre, being the Maxxis DHRII. And it's the same brake affair at the back as well. So it's the same 180mm Uberbike Components Radiator rotor, and the same M7000 brake. On the back are an Uberbike Components adapter to convert it from 160mm post to 180mm post, and just so I can get a 180mm rotor on the back. In terms of the what's in the tyre, so I'm using these Uberbike component valves, but I'm also using the Uberbike component rim tape and the tyre goo stuff, the tubeless tyre goo. So these are all fully set up as tubeless. The Big Al last year was not a tubeless setup, it was just a typical inner tube setup on also DH2 tyres, but they were black wool if I remember. But I think that's it, you know. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it looks substantially better than the models last year. Definitely look a bit more grown up. Yeah, some of these components are more top shelf, or closer to top shelf than we were in last year. So the Big L last year was on a Fox 34. This is obviously a Bomber Z1, closer to the Fox 36. Brakes probably largely the same, though these rotors are slightly better. Bars are much better, so well, for me anyway. much bigger upgrade. So having the top cap for my computer, the bottle cage, also quite useful. But look, let's not forget the saddle. Saddle was probably the biggest upgrade, to be honest, over last year. I can actually sit on this one. But yeah, that's my 2022 Ragley Big Al, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some reviews in and get some riding video at some point. Thank you.